Yeah. Hey yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy Aceox, and I'm back. I'm back with another reaction. This time I'm going to react to 10 most disturbing hidden images in video games by Oddheader. Yes, we're going to react to another video by Oddheader. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen this one, so yeah. Like I mentioned in my last reaction, I watched a lot of Oddheader videos in the past, and finding videos I haven't seen yet to react to can be quite difficult. Let's just put it like that, yeah. But I briefly skimmed through the video and it seems like I don't know this video in particular because nothing rang a bell, so yeah, that's the one I picked. Hell yeah. But before we start, I gotta talk about something real quick. It really fucking pissed me off. Yesterday, I recorded over 2.5 hours for a reaction video, and it turned out that without my knowledge, once again, Windows decided for some fucking reason to set my microphone volume to 100%. Awesome, yeah! No, not really, because I purposely set it to 25% because if you increase it too much, for some reason it creates static. Awesome, right? So what I do normally is I turn down the input gain on my audio interface and turn down the output gain on Windows itself, and then just in post normalize the audio wave file and then edit stuff. Typical audio processing shit. But yeah, once again set it to 100% out of the blue for no goddamn reason. I don't know what happened. I didn't disconnect my audio interface. It just was set to 100% again. And guess what? The entire audio waveform was distorted as hell. So yeah, I had to scrap the entire 2.5 hour long reaction I made. Just because Windows did some stupid shit it did many times before. But many times before I managed to catch it in time. But this time I did not expect it to happen, and it happened, and I got fucked. So I just wanted to let you know why this video in particular came out this week but not on Thursday, a reaction. And that's because why I had to scrap the entire video. Fucking shit. But yeah, now I got a little safeguard, 2 safeguards actually in place to prevent this from happening, or at least hopefully prevent it from happening by simply using the task scheduler in Windows. And there's a certain program that starts on once I start the PC. Both things are basically set to immediately change the microphone volume in Windows to 25%, so hopefully this won't happen again. It sucks though, it sucks. I think it was a good video, but yeah, I reacted to a shoe on head video, so yeah. Can't react to it again, cause I now officially already saw it. God damn it, yeah. Fucking shit, I hate Windows. But yeah, that's enough yapping. Before we start, like always, go into the video description, click the first link in the video description under the credits tab to get to the original video by Oddheader. Leave him a like, leave him a comment, tell him if you think that's the fucking most disturbing hidden images in video games, then you should see the pictures of my ass I tend to mod into my favorite games. Now that's true horror. Really spooky poopy shit. Tell him that, and obviously subscribe to him, he deserves it. He makes some really good videos. I definitely know it. You should hopefully know by now as well. If not, here's your reminder that he makes good videos. So burn it into your fucking brain and remember it, or there will be consequences and you won't like it. Or maybe you do, maybe you're a sadistic SM guy, but I'm guessing you're not, so don't challenge me on that. Alright, so like I said, enough yapping. Let me zoom out for you. There you go. Let me quickly check the settings. Alright, 1080p. Nah, I'll leave it at 1080p for now. Speed, normal, alright. Stable volume. I don't know if I should keep it on or turn it off, but I mean, we're watching the video, so it probably shouldn't be a problem. I imagine it would be a problem for music and movies and stuff like that, but I'll leave it on for now. But if you think it'll negatively affect, well, the output, then let me know and I'm gonna turn it off, but I'll leave it on for now. I didn't even know it was a thing. It's a good thing it's finally a thing. And also, I know I'm yapping, but this is a really cool feature I also didn't know about. There is automatic dubbing. You know, yesterday in the middle of the night I saw a video, a Japanese video, and it was dubbed in English, and I was like, hey, hold on, but everyone in the comments is talking in Japanese and the title is in Japanese, and what is going on? And then I find out, damn, it's auto-dubbed. That's so cool. And I turned it off, and then I heard the original came through clear as day. And yeah, cool features, cool, very cool indeed. Yeah, I just want to talk about that real quick. All right, so without further ado, here we go.
Sometimes you find something in a video game that makes you think, what the
Donkey!
I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. This is why today we're diving into the 10 most disturbing images found in video games.
Alright.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Thanks to Scratchy McNuts for submitting this discovery through oddheader.com. There's no end to the madness in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, with one of the biggest mysteries being whether the bucket you must carry to complete the game's many endings is just a bucket, something else entirely, or
no, it's not.
Developer William Pugh. And while solving this mystery is definitely on the oddheader,
it's a cosmic entity.
Players looking in the data of the game managed to find a discovery that gave them even more questions. As when the player picks up the bucket, it's sitting on a cushion on a pedestal. Evidently, not even this cushion is normal, as in the files of the game, there's a texture named Royal Pillow Beautiful Sexy Damn. The texture shows both sides of the cushion, with a random secret agent saying, "Don't tell them I showed you this." Signed,
damn.
Likely the game's art director Dominic Johan. Dom shows us on the underside of the cushion, you can see the faint image of a gray face if you look at it closely. Turning the brightness all the way up, we
holy
can see
shit.
more clearly. Though
Holy shit.
Beautiful or sexy like the file name claims. Some players believe the face looks like an edited version of Ben Drowned, the infamous creepypasta.
What? No.
Of a boy named Ben haunting a Legend of Zelda Majora.
Nah, it looks different.
And now the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe apparently.
Oh wait, it could
Honestly, if Ben Drowned showed up in the Stanley Parable, it'd be far from the weirdest thing to happen in this game.
Yeah, true, but
Half-Life.
what the hell?
The original Half-Life, released in 1998. It was already one of the most talked about releases in gaming history. And in fact, Half-Life was so
Half-Life.
some players pretend to be journalists in order to get a copy of the game's Day 1 demo. However,
what, really?
That's by the Day 1
Damn.
Demo.
Damn. Well, yeah, Half-Life is a really influential game. I gotta admit, I never played the original. I played some of the Black Mesa remake-ish, whatever you'd call it. I played some of Half-Life 2 and Half-Life Lost Coast or something like that. So it's a very small add-on thing. But yeah, I've seen a lot there is to see about this game, and I'm gonna play it at some point. But yeah, I'm behind, especially with classics, true classics. But I'm gonna rectify this mistake at some point, as I always do. After all, I'm a responsible asshole. Yeah. But yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't old enough when Half-Life 1 came out and made waves in the gaming scene, so I don't really remember much about that time. But I heard that it's very influential, and I just remembered that Half-Life 2 had this. Yeah, hold on. No, okay, no, hold on. I just thought, is he going to talk about the corpse face? But no, that's in Half-Life 2. It appears he's talking about Half-Life 1, right? But yeah, if you know, you know. That shit is fucking disturbing. To think that they actually put a corpse face burned off with no eyes into Half-Life 2. That's fucked up. And I know it's edited and slightly changed, but yeah. Once you know the connection between the original picture it's sourced from, no, I don't like that sort of stuff. Kinda made me very disappointed in Valve, because I like Valve as a company, and I'm seeing that they, I don't like that sort of stuff. But I think he's not gonna talk about that in this video, right? He's talking about Half-Life 1. Then I guess it's going to be about something I'm not familiar with, and I'm all for it. So shut the fuck up, Aceox. Let's find out what this is all about. Hell yeah.
I've been even more surprised about a secret hidden in the data, as in the file demo. Data miners found an unused photo of a male pierced nipple. I definitely don't remember this.
What the fuck?
Half-Life. The image is in a folder titled Zeno, which contains textures using the levels that take place in Zen, an interdimensional location studied by the Black Mesa scientists where the aliens that invade the facility come from. Was a shirtless G-man with his nipples pierced supposed to appear at the end of the game? Maybe it's for the better we don't find out the answer.
Oh man, no, I'm disappointed. I want to see that.
This discovery on the Oddheader Discord. SWAT 4 released in 2005, where as expected you lead a SWAT team taking down suspects in a variety of missions. Though one of the game's missions features a sly hidden reference to something else that's rather suspect. As in the A-Bomb nightclub area of the game, there's a poster on the wall of K. Relly, which appears to be a pretty obvious parody of the singer R. Kelly. The poster also uses the same pun Kendrick Lamar used to diss a different rapper 19 years later in Not Like Us. The pun on this poster is likely referencing R. Kelly K. Relly's illegal marriage to singer Aaliyah when she was only 15, as well as various other crimes that were rumored for years before they were later
a lot of
exposed
shit.
in a documentary Surviving R. Kelly in 2019. Kind of crazy, SWAT managed to call out one of R. Kelly's crimes all the way back in 2005.
Damn, true.
I may have expected that kind of sick burn coming from a Kendrick Lamar song. Can't say I expected to find it hidden in a SWAT team simulator. Then again,
hey, that's unexpected,
in a
for
SWAT
sure.
team simulator maybe isn't the biggest surprise. The writing was pretty much already on the wall. Super Mario
Literally.
Sunshine. Super Mario Sunshine released in 2002 as the 3D Super Mario title for the GameCube. Still waiting on one for
man,
Switch 2.
I really like Super Mario Sunshine. I think the Mario games in general are very unique, especially the mainline games. But especially Super Mario Sunshine is such a huge departure from all the other Super Mario games because the tropical setting and the flood mechanic is just, it's paradise. It's true paradise. So yeah, I really love this game, and we really need a Super Mario Sunshine 2. We fucking need that. Please, Nintendo, please. This shit was, it was chef's kiss. It was scrumptious. It was awesome. And I want it. I want another one, please. Thank you.
In the game, Mario finally gets a chance to relax on vacation when suddenly evil Shadow Mario shows up and makes an enormous mess. And now Mario has to clean it all up with this flood device. In the game,
it's I love it. I love it.
I
love this game.
Map files in the date of the game that designates where the goo shows up in each level. If we were to look at the maps in the data, they look like random ink splatters. Though a few of the unused bitmaps in the game have some unexpected surprises. Some unused bitmaps contain notes in Japanese, such as this one that says stupid. The strangest is this map, which shows a creepy face surrounded by a piranha plant and a Goomba. I assume this is a developer f***ing around, as I highly doubt this was actually once a location in the game. This face looks like it belongs in Super Mario Nightmare. Chill. Chill is a PlayStation snowboarding game only released in Europe in 1998. There was also supposed to be a Sega Saturn port, which the developers completed and even sent to reviewers, but for whatever reason was never released. The game didn't make much of an impression on critics or players, evidenced by the fact
I never heard of this
video likely remembers this game. However, data miners made a discovery in the files of Chill that would have likely garnered more attention if it actually made it in the final game. As in the files, there's a cut save icon, which looks like 3 breasts stacked on top of each other. And
what the hell?
Apparently supposed to pulsate when animated. Damn. This save icon, maybe the game should have been called No Chill or Based. They actually said it in 1998. Road 96. Thanks to Mike and Toast,
I played this game recently.
This mystery through the Odd Header website and Discord. Road 96 released in 2021, an adventure game where you play teenage hitchhikers trying to
pretty cool.
Country Petria, so they never have to see its authoritarian president Tyrak ever again. However, some players found themselves wanting to flee a strange discovery they made in the game instead. As in the game, you dig through a box of newspapers covering some fictional events in the game world. However, one of the photos used for these newspaper stories isn't fictional, as it's a photo of the real-life American politician Arba Dwyer, and it's not just any photo of the politician. The photo actually has a haunting story, as the press took the photo of Dwyer moments before.
That's insane. That's insane. I did not realize that it was an actual picture, but now that he pointed that out, I know that picture. Wasn't that the guy who killed himself on live television? And the fucking cameraman even zoomed in and damn. Or is it a different guy? But I definitely saw this. That's crazy. Everything else looks in that style when it's like a magazine or newspapers, pictures, that sort of stuff is in that style. So I didn't realize that was an actual picture. Damn. Alright. Let's find out which one this guy was. But I think there was a guy who killed himself, right?
Where he shot himself on a live TV news broadcast.
Alright, okay.
It shocked everyone who saw it. Occurred when Dwyer arranged a press conference to read a statement about the various crimes he was accused of committing, and then did the infamous act at the end of his speech. It's unclear why this image is here and whether it was done intentionally or accidentally. But
the other pictures seem like they take place within this world. They're made up pictures. This one is an actual picture, so I don't think it was accidental, because the other pictures aren't, as far as I know, sourced from anything. They're unique, right? They're uniquely made for this game. At least it seemed like it. But nah, dude, I saw that shit. I didn't see it when it happened back then, of course. But as fucked up as it is, I don't know if it still is, but I think it still is available on YouTube to see. And it's quite shocking, because it's not, I'd say, extremely gory, but very bloody and fucked up, because like I said, the cameraman even zooms in and slowly pans, and everything is like, damn, yeah, look at this, he died, yeah, he's dead, oh, what's this, oh, damn, look at this blood, you know, it's, damn, just turn the camera away, man. Yeah, the thing that shocked me about this clip is how much blood kept flowing out of his nose. Like, that's something I didn't really think about, but yeah, obviously, if you shoot yourself in the head, the blood needs to escape from somewhere. I did not expect that amount. And if you're trying to look it up, if you haven't seen it, just don't. No, it's not worth it. It's a lot of blood. I'm surprised that it's even allowed to be on YouTube, since it's an actual death, an actual suicide. But yeah, YouTube has these weird rules that you can upload stuff that goes against terms of service if it is like historical events and educational and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess it falls under that. Because the Björk stalker guy that also killed himself on tape, which is also on YouTube available. Yeah, like I just said, it's also available on YouTube to view. So yeah, I think, I don't know, some things, yeah, I guess you could say it's an important event, especially that one with the guy here. What can you learn from seeing a fucking corpse, right? So yeah, kind of weird, I think, that YouTube allows this sort of stuff for these weird reasons. I think they should either just say, you know, yeah, it's historical, so we'll leave it, even if it's very graphic, or shut the fuck up. But yeah, I don't like it when people try to make up shit, you know. Just say what you mean and shut the fuck up, and that's it. Yeah, I just don't like this holier than thou. I have an actual reason to break my own rules, because my reasons are supreme. I am awesome. Nah, just YouTube should just shut the fuck up and age restrict that shit. At the very least, they need to age restrict these clips, because the only thing I really worry about is children coming across this sort of content. You know, death. Graphic death on the internet. But then again, I just reminded myself of that, the fact that on Twitter during the K-pop stan era, they used K-pop clips to lure you in and then showed you immediately cut to very gory actual death footage and stuff like that. Is yeah, that sort of things always exist on the internet, but we shouldn't at least make it that easy to find for children, you know? At the very least, we could age gate it, but that's just me being a moral wannabe idiot. But yeah, that's what I think about that sort of stuff. I don't know the specifics of this case in particular, but I think real life things, unless they have a very good reason, have no place in fictional media like this, for example. Like in a historical game, for example, it would make sense to include historical footage, like for example, historical war footage in Call of Duty games. I guess in that case it makes sense, right? But in a fictional game like this, it has nothing really to do with this case, as far as I'm aware. Stop using actual things from real world by which many people were affected by negatively, because a lot of people saw this shit and were traumatized by that shit when it played on live television. I find stuff like that in very poor taste, but yeah, that's just me being a moral idiot once again. Come on, I'm usually the funny penis man guy. I get to every now and then swing the moral hammer and be like, I'm better than all of you, fuck you. I'm gonna beat you over the head with my morals. Even though I'm a fucking hypocrite most of the time. Yeah, but I don't care, you don't care. Get hit by my dick. Whoosh. Like that, you know. I'm gonna take a quick break and I'll be back in a second. For some reason it's so hot today again. Gotta get rid of my jacket, my small jacket I'm wearing, and take a vape break. So yeah, see you in a second. Penis. Motherfucker. Alright, I'm back. Let's wrap this up real quick, because that's something I definitely want to talk about in depth at some point, some more, but I think this video isn't perfectly suited for that, so I'm gonna keep it short. I just think, you know, stuff like this borders on being exploitative. In the case of the R. Kelly thing in SWAT 4, you know, there's at the very least the thing that they called him out for that, basically, in that poster, which was something that wasn't really done a lot in the beginning, when things came out in the very beginning. But even that, I think, man, just leave it out, man. Just leave it out. Maybe it's just me, but I think if I was, for example, one of the victims of R. Kelly, I'd be fucking pissed to see that people make fun of that situation, because there were actual children exploited and abused by him, and that's fucking disgusting, man. But yeah, that's just, you know, it's just me. I have nothing against people that fucking use that shit to make a joke, because I know that people cope with stuff differently differently, and I just think, especially in a game like this, it's really not needed, man. Sure, it's a very political game. That's an aspect I did not really like about it too much, but it's in a fictional world, and putting just real life things that lead to very graphic things that happen in the real world is just no, it's not needed, man. It's unnecessary. That's why I'm a bit disappointed whenever I see stuff like that, but that's just me. Alright, let's continue.
Honestly, given the enormous infamy of this image, I highly doubt it was a mistake. And if it was, that is one hell of a bad mistake.
Yeah.
Medal of Honor, Allied Assault. Thanks to Butterdoge Star Wars for submitting this mystery on the Oddheader Discord. Allied Assault released in 2002, known for
I gotta admit, I never played Medal of Honor games.
Ryan in its depiction of World War II. However, Allied Assault differs from Saving Private Ryan in a number of ways, such as this Easter egg players can find of German soldiers dancing and doing backflips if you look at them through this window and press the mouse key. Not sure that's accurate to World War II. However, another discovery was made that may also not be accurate to World War II, as Butterdoge Star Wars found this horrifying face in the data.
What the fuck?
The image could be used as a reflection texture in the game. While it's unclear what exactly in the game this texture is used to reflect, it seems to reflect the sort of thing I've only seen in nightmares.
It's kind of cool. I know it wasn't even meant to be used at all, but I could see some various ways they could creatively use it as a horror thing. I mean, it looked like the room itself has a face. The room is a cosmic entity, a very strange being that's just unexplainable. You know, yes, that sort of. I like that sort of thing. Obviously, it's probably just a joke or maybe meant for an Easter egg or something like that. But yeah, I could see how people could use it. That's, by the way, horror I like horror that's so outlandish that it's kind of cool. Like, for example, the horror of the movie, what was it? The one with the pink light from outer space or something like that. Light from outer space. What was it called? Once again, I'm not good with names. Remembering names, damn. But yeah, I like stuff like that, like very unusual horror. Let's put it like that. It's not just ghosts and demons. No, it's a fucking room with a face. Damn! It can be goofy, but it can also be creepy if you apply it correctly, apply it with much care. I want to see horror like that. So if you know of horror like that, suggest some to me in the comment section down below, alright? Because I like this sort of stuff. I want to see maybe a full horror movie that includes these weird things. But I should probably just watch Asian horror movies because they have some really outlandish things and they're fucking scary. But yeah, let's continue.
Neopia Studio is a match 3 mobile game that had a beta release in 2022, which was going to take place in the Neopets universe with a story about reviving an abandoned movie studio in a small town. Only thing is, Neopets fans apparently hated the beta so much, Neopia Studio's full release was cancelled and turned into a different game. Looking at the game's cutscenes on the Internet Archive, the game appears to be pretty kid-friendly, but not if you look in the files of the game, as there were apparently extremely detailed textures of what appears to be a nude woman with full anatomy in the nether regions.
What the fuck?
Movie studio were we supposed to be running here? The game then turned into Neopets Fairy's Hope, which eventually rebranded again to Fairy Fragments, which is the current mobile game that's out now. Well, hopefully those textures of this woman were removed when the game turned into Fairy Fragments, as I'm not sure what they were doing in the Neopets game to begin with.
Yeah, what are they doing in a children's game to begin with?
Skullgirls.
That's what the fuck, man.
Is a fighting game from 2012, known for its unique art style, as well as one of the
I played that.
piracy measures in gaming. As after beating the story mode, some players reported seeing the message as the square root of a fish.
Yeah, I know what the story behind that. That's actually pretty cool. That's, like he said, an anti-piracy measure. The point is that you ask on the internet what this means, and you're pretty much outing yourself as a pirate. It's clever. That's clever. I like stuff like that. Yeah, I like it. It's similar with Game Dev Tycoon. There we go. Yeah, which also had an anti-piracy measure, which at some point, if you pirated the game, people would start pirating your games you're creating inside the game, and it'll lead to your company going bankrupt. And it's also meant to make you so frustrated that you search online how to circumvent that and realize, damn, I just outed myself for being a pirate again. Damn. I love stuff like that because I like anti-piracy measures in general, because if they're creative, it's actually something I want to play for myself. Get my hands on a badly pirated copy so I can experience, for example, Spyro the Dragon, or was it Spyro 2? Had some really creative ways it fucked with you you if it detected your copy to be pirated. It's really cool. I like it. I want to see more of that. That is really cool.
This caused players to reach out to the game's Twitter page to ask what the strange message meant. And Skullgirls responded that it meant that they should buy a copy of the game instead of pirating it. Apparently, the message was only supposed to trigger if the game detected piracy. Well, that's embarrassing. However, this anti-piracy trap isn't the only thing in Skullgirls that has left the players who saw it scratching their heads, as data miners found an unused test level background in the files of the game. The test level background looks like a pretty rough sketch of an environment with some random assets, including what appears to be actual writing. It says test poo version 1.0. 1.0. Were they planning other versions of this? And what were they testing exactly? You know what? I don't want to know. I guess one possible
I want to know
is here to test if anyone data mined the game's going to ask about it. And if that's the case, the test appears to be working, because here I am asking what this is doing here. Burnout Revenge. Thanks to Shad for submitting this discovery on the Oddheader Discord. Burnout Revenge released in 2005, a part of my favorite racing series of all time, known for its emphasis on intense speed and explosive vehicle destruction. Despite the many innocent lives lost in a game about crashing cars and throwing as many drivers off the road as possible,
I think I only played was Burnout Paradise, simply because of the soundtrack, Paradise City by Guns N' Roses and music like that, because I'm quite a big old school Guns N' Roses fan. I inherited that from my mom because she loves Guns N' Roses and listened to a lot of their songs back in the day, and I learned to love it as a small kid myself through that. And we always used to play Guns N' Roses music when we went on a road trip. So yeah, I have very fond memories that are directly connected to the songs you would find in Burnout Paradise. So yeah, I played that one, but I never played the other Burnout games. I didn't even know that, but apparently the Burnout series is all about crashing, right? It's about crashing, racing, and crashing your car and creating as much destruction as possible or something like that. Like I said, I never played the rest of the games. As far as I know, Burnout Paradise, it was more like an open world racing game, right? If I remember correctly. Yeah, no, maybe not. Medic! Team Fortress 2, in case you didn't catch the reference. Medic! But can you outsmart Bullet? Sandwich!
ESRB rated the game E10+, ultimately finding nothing too inappropriate for younger audiences. Or so the ESRB thought, as Shad was looking at the files of the Xbox 360 version of the game when they found some newspaper textures that surprised them. The newspaper textures looked like they could have been taken from actual newspapers throughout history, such as this one about the US president meeting Winston Churchill. One texture, though, seems a bit inappropriate for the game, which appears to be a newspaper clipping about a public lynch that happened in California in 1933, where a mob walked into the jail, holding two men suspected of killing a beloved member of their community, and then killed them in retaliation. The newspaper texture even includes a photo of the event, which shows their hanging bodies. Granted, you move through this game so fast, you wouldn't be likely to see it even if it was somewhere in the game. But yeah, but still, they could have used. Why the hell did they use this? Wow, I get this game is called Burnout Revenge, but damn, I don't think that's the kind of revenge anyone was expecting.
Yeah, that's not cool. That's not cool. I don't like that. That's just exploitative. The way it's not even bordering on being exploitative. That's just straight up exploitation of a fucked up thing that happened in the past. I don't like that. All right, that's it. I'm not never going to play a Burnout game ever again. Fuck you. No, but I find stuff like that in particular very disgusting, especially if it's uncensored. I'm pretty sure that Oddheader has censored it, right? For YouTube standards and everything. Come on, man! Shit like that has no reason to be in games like that. No, I don't like that. That's frustrating, man. Alright, let's see the rest of the video, the last couple seconds, and then I'll rant some more, but let's continue for half a minute.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. And if you know of other hidden images and video games that you think I missed, submit through oddheader.com. Come join the Discord
as well.
Send me a shout through Twitter or Reddit. Shout out to Aaron Johnston, Angel the Fox, Ash Photography, Bitwif27, Black EV50, Chad Biscuits, Eddie Talkspin, The Bleach Primid, Flex, Jailbreak, Isaac Murillo, Kieran Bolton, The Meatly, Phoenix157, Rackman22, Riley S, Robert Eisenman, Select, Subrock, and Terrence Stock for their Patreon support. Stay tuned.
There we go. Alright, so some thumbnails on YouTube, I swear. Some thumbnails are just make me question sometimes how stuff like that is allowed on YouTube. Not this picture, by the way. I'm not talking about that. I mean, I've seen pictures in particular of the guy who was tortured in Funky Town Gore, and it was badly censored and used as a thumbnail because the video was talking about it. But still, it's kind of, yeah, it's fucked up, and YouTube just doesn't give a shit. So yeah, gotta be careful thumbnails in particular. But yeah, good video. First of all, good video by Oddheader. Once again, very well researched, very well done. I liked it a lot. I think almost all of them I did not know. I think I knew maybe one. Yeah, the anti-piracy measure. But no, it also continued with the poop room, the poop stage. And I didn't know about that. So yeah, I think mostly things I did not know about. So that's a pleasant surprise. Hell yeah, I learned something new. And I realized that game devs or designers or whatever the fuck, they need to chill, man. They need to chill. There's no need to put a fucking actual newspaper article into the game which contains graphic photos of people who got lynched. Like, what the fuck, man? That's so not necessary. Especially in a racing game. Like, what's your problem? What's your problem? If it was a historically accurate, I don't know, retelling of something, a game about that, then okay, maybe it would make sense. But not in a racing game, man. That's fuck you. Fuck you. Jokes aside, I really don't like stuff like that. It's not cool. Not cool. Reminds me of, I really like Cattle Decapitation's music. I think they are very talented. I really like their music. But I'm so disappointed that they used an actual soundbite from an actual gore video, a historical gore video of a guy getting his head cut off in the very first song of, I think, their debut album, in the very first few seconds. That's just, I don't find that shit cool at all. I think that's exploitative as fuck because they're profiting off of that, you know, simply by putting that sort of shit into the music, onto their albums they're selling. So they're basically financially profiting off of someone's brutal death. And I think, yeah, that it's not even edgy. It's just, I find stuff like that very pathetic and stupid and disappointing. So I have my gripes with that sort of stuff in games, in music, in movies, and whatever. I feel like there is a time and place where you could argue that it makes sense to include real life tragedies or graphic stuff, but usually I feel like the way they're, for example, implemented in games or hidden in games and stuff like that, completely unnecessary. Like, for example, also the picture of the textures of the woman being completely nude, even them genitalia and stuff like that in a children's game. That's, no, it goes way too far. I think these people need to be fucking investigated, to be honest. Because that's criminal shit, man. But yeah, enough yapping about that. Maybe I'll dedicate a video about this topic in particular, so I don't keep endlessly yapping about that in random videos that are somewhat connected to that topic, but not really the perfect place to talk about that sort of stuff. But yeah, before I end this video, like always, go into the video description, click the first link in the video description under the credits tab to get to the original video by Oddheader. Leave him a like, leave him a comment, tell him, hey yo, Oddheader, why is your hat so odd? Get it? Tell him that, and obviously subscribe to him. He deserves it. He makes some really good videos. And like I promised many times, gonna zoom in and write my own comment. Hey, look, it's Philly and Saba. Hey yo, the devs for Skullgirls need a race. A poop stage? Now that would have been one badass stage to fight on in the game. Sad it did not happen. Sad smiley. Anyway, awesome video, Oddheader. Keep up the good work, my boy. Smiley face. There we go. Comment that. There we go. Look, it's me. Oh my god, I'm in the Oddheader video. Damn. And in my comment section down below, tell me what you want me to react to next. Maybe another video by Oddheader, maybe by someone else, about something else, for something else. You name it, I'll do it. Let's fucking go. But try to make it specific. For example, give me a video title. Because if it's about a topic I'm unfamiliar with, I don't know what to watch, you know? I don't know what's good and what isn't, right? So help me out in that regard. Or I can pick out something myself, like I've been doing mostly on this channel, and so far it worked pretty good. I fucked up my perfect track record, but yeah, it's still a good track record. I just pick something that looks or sounds interesting and just go for it. Or I can do both. Just let me know which one you prefer, and I'm happy to oblige either way. Alright, this has been the Small Penis Man. Small Penis Man out. I shit your dick. I pissed your pants. I farted and sharded. Until the end of days, I fucking created the apocalypse by injecting my farts into the atmosphere of the earth, calling forth the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse to rain down fart gases on the masses here on earth. Do you hear the trumpets sounding? Those are not trumpets. Those are not trumpets signaling the end of the world. No, those is just my asshole. It's my asshole tooting. Tooting, getting like, damn. If I could, I would fuck myself right now. Yeah. Bye.